Sales Milestone 1, Preparation. The first step in our sales system deals with two areas. First, we need to be prepared mentally. You should have a positive, upbeat outlook. Be enthusiastic with a high energy level. Go into each home with the confidence you work for the finest home improvement company in the industry and that the products we carry are the very best and are exclusive to our company. Have the expectation that you will sell every appointment. Don't prejudge, but give every homeowner your best presentation. Since you've taken the time to go, take the time necessary to do a full presentation. Secondly, have all the sales tools and equipment you need ready on each sales call, from samples to contracts, tape measures to computers. Have everything you need and have them clean and presentable. Sales Milestone 2, the rapport statement. Our rapport statement is done in two parts. The first is just after entering the home, and it may be said with either one or both parties present. The first part is designed to set us up as consultants and not necessarily as salespeople. It then gets us to the kitchen table where we'll position the customers for the optimum outcome. The second segment of the rapport statement allows us to stay in control by telling the customer how the visit will go. It follows our sales system schedule by telling the customer the sequence and order of our presentation. We depressure the presentation by letting the customer know we'll be giving them a price good for 30 days so that when they're ready, they'll know the investment required. The final paragraph of the rapport statement mentions that we have a special price for those who want to get started right away. It justifies our urgency price that we'll offer later in the presentation. Be sure the customer hears that final paragraph. Sales Milestone 3, the survey. The purpose of the survey is to convey to the customer that we care about their needs and wants, not just about what we want them to purchase. If used properly, the survey can give us insight into how to sell them. It is essential that you listen carefully and take good notes. Layer your questions, gathering information you will use throughout the presentation. Use the survey to build rapport by getting to know the customer. Secondarily, we head off objections in the survey. We utilize a term referred to as post-negative suggestion to handle objections even before they're brought up. Remember to complete the indoor survey with a takeaway technique. Say to the customer, "Let's go outside and see if we can even put a sunroom on your home," or "Let's go to the bathroom and see if there's anything we can do to help you." At this time, you go outside and do the outdoor survey. With the help of the customers, you design their room, or for windows and bath wraps, we go and inspect existing conditions and try to establish with the customer that they have a problem and a need. This is your opportunity to show your skills as a designer with your language and your measure skills. Sales Milestone 4, the purpose statement. After our outdoor survey, we excuse ourselves to go to our car to get the rest of our sales samples. Upon re-entering the home, we sit back down and begin our purpose statement. This purpose statement determines and defines the customer's value system. With the purpose statement, we're able to isolate the customer's deciding factors. The customer tells us what it would take to earn their business. It creates a roadmap of steps to follow and obtains the first real commitment in the sales call. Sales Milestone 5, the company story. One of the customer's deciding factors will be to deal with a dependable, reputable company. Your job in this step is to demonstrate how American Home Design is the logical choice when choosing a contractor. The company story is performed on your iPad or laptop. At the start, you will show the difficulty in finding a good company and instill the fear in choosing a poor one. Don't be overly technical. Sell the emotional benefits of a stable, dependable company with a record of customer satisfaction and quality craftsmanship. Remember to ask the customer if we meet or exceed their expectations after the company story. Having a good warranty will be the next factor in their buying decision process. Be enthusiastic in describing warranties and focus on the exclusivity. Once again, be sure to ask if we met or exceeded their expectation at the conclusion. During our company story portion of the presentation, we again mention our special price program for those who like what they see and are ready to get started right away. This screen should only be shown momentarily and not discussed or defended at this time. Sales Milestone 6, the product demo. Just prior to the product demo, we say what is called our permission statement. This is done in an attempt to get a yes or a no at the end of the presentation. We want to eliminate the maybes. Care must be taken to say this properly, or you may get a negative result. When this step is done properly, it will reduce the number of people who just want to think about it. Once the permission statement is complete, begin your product demo. Be energetic and enthusiastic. Remember, you won't be able to close them later if they don't want it and see the value now. Use third-party language. Our customers tell us that. Don't forget to get commitments on the major components of your product. Have the customer agree that this is what they want, and at no price would anything else be a good value. Hammer the exclusivity of your product and that anything else would be a poor choice. At the conclusion of the product demo, remember to ask if the product meets or exceeds their expectations. Sales Milestone 7, Price. The pre-pricing statement helps to qualify the customer's readiness to move forward with the project. Don't get too hung up on not getting a strong commitment to do business now. The main purpose is not to close, but to see if you have sold the prospect on the value and that you've isolated affordability is the only objection. Use the written copy of the purpose statement to get a commitment that other than the price, there's no other reason they wouldn't want to move forward. Sales Milestone 8, the close. The close is comprised of 14 closing steps. These closing steps have several purposes. They take us all the way from presenting a price to cooling the customer down and leaving the home with referrals. It's imperative that you learn and perform these steps exactly. It's been proven time and again that the system will work if you follow it. Closing Step 1, present the order. Before we quote the price, it is essential that we recap everything we're going to do in order to rebuild value. After reviewing all of the things in the order, present the Remodeling Online Cost versus Value report. This will price condition the customer to expect a higher price than it will actually be. Then quote your price as shown in the following video. Closing Step 2. Listen to and handle the objections. You must listen carefully to the customer's response to the price in order to use and repeat his language back to him. It's critical that you do not speak until they're finished. Then agree. The customer says, "I want to think about it." You then pause 4 seconds and say, "I understand. You need to think about it." Mary, is that the way you feel? Closing Step 3. Isolate all buying signs, conditions, and objections, and reduce objections to money. Whatever the customer's objection is, you isolate by saying, "So other than, is there anything else keeping us apart?" Don't forget to ask the spouse, "Is that the way you feel?" Pick up your purpose statement to convert the objections to money. Closing Step 4, the total offer concept. Segue to the total offer concept by asking, if it had been a little cheaper, would it have been easier to think about? Introduce the total offer concept as an itemized accounting of how we arrive at our price. This step justifies our price and allows us to compare apples to apples. At the end of the total offer concept, and after getting the customer to agree that they see the value and the price to quality ratio, go for an assumptive close. Closing step 5, the bridge to qualification. This step is also known as a bridge to time. We want to know how soon they'll be getting back with us. Begin to pack up. Give the customer the impression that you're leaving. This will bring down their defenses. Closing step 6, qualification. Follow the 5 statements exactly as they're written. Ask as if you were in a casual conversation with the customer. Use the remaining language in the step to explain the idea behind our savings plan and to get another yes or no commitment. Closing step 7, urgency. Introduce and then play the Don Bruce video that explains our initial visit reward. At the end, explain why we're able to offer the plan. Then offer the customer the reduced price and go for the assumptive close. This is the first time we've given the customer a reason to do the job now. Approximately 75% of our business is closed on this step. Don't feel the need to rush to the next step. You may stay here for a while and use persuasive language to convince them to close. Closing step 8, the assurance of low price guarantee. We have now given the customer our best price. This step guarantees he can't find a better price on a similar product anywhere. Recite the material exactly as written, show the guarantee on the iPad or by printed sheet, and don't forget to go for the assumptive close. Closing step 9, the acceptance and rejection. Use this consultation summary to have your customer grade the presentation. This step reminds the customer that they won't get the initial visit reward price at a later date, and once again validates you, your company, and your product. To complete this step, you must find out the magic number, the amount that it would have taken to get the order. Closing step 10, the final opportunity. Using the information gained in the consultation summary, offer other means to earn the order. Resize the room, downgrade to a screen room or cover. Use the magic number. Perhaps you call in for a higher authority price. The object in this step is to sell something. You must find a way to make something happen. Closing step 11, signatures. Use the words approval or okay for signature. Avoid words such as contract and sign. These are trigger words and may trigger a negative response. Be sure and get all owners' signatures if possible. Have the customer sign all appropriate paperwork, contract, lead paint forms, and finance documents on the iPad. Closing step 12, negotiate the deposit. We need 30% deposit on cash jobs with no questions asked, and we can take as low as 10% down with a Social Security number. Finance jobs require a minimum of 1 month's payment, but the larger the deposit, the lower the monthly payment, and the less likely the job would be to cancel. Closing step 13, the button-up. After closing the sale, always congratulate the customer on a wise decision. Don't just leave hastily, but stay a while reassuring them of their decision. Have them tell you why they decided to invest. Describe to them the sequence of events that will occur over the coming weeks with your What Happens Next sheet. Discuss the notice of cancellation. It is imperative that the customer feels comfortable with the price and terms before you leave the house, or the job might cancel. Closing step 14, referrals. Before leaving, remind the customer of our referral reward program. Remember, you can ask for referrals on sales or no sales. Review the win-win referral program with them. Leave the lead-free information book with them. Either email their documents to them or advise them that their documents will be mailed to them and should arrive in just a few days.